Good morning, everyone. Welcome and thank you for joining another wonderful morning class here with the Good Life program. This is Mindful Mondays with Iya Kemi, part of the Good Life program on healthy aging, brought to you by UC Davis and the City of Oakland. And we're so glad to have you here as we bring spiritual health classes directly to you all live. Before we get started, here are a few main helpful tips um, for today's session. At the bottom of your Zoom screen, you'll see a small icon labeled chat. Clicking it will open the sidebar on the right, and feel free to type any comments or questions you might have. We have a chat monitor ready to respond throughout the session, and please know that this class is recorded and simultaneously broadcasted on Facebook and YouTube Live. And if you'd like to prefer to remain anonymous, you can change your Zoom name by clicking on your name in the participant's sidebar, selecting rename, and entering how you like to be identified. By staying in the Zoom meeting, you are giving consent for your image and participation to be used in a photo, video, or film for any legitimate purposes by our organizers, producers, sponsors, and partners. And a quick reminder, Zoom isn't perfect. If your sound or internet cuts out, don't worry, we are still here during our scheduled time. And if you experience any issues accessing our class, feel free to email us at info@thegoodlifepath.org or contact our support at 510-255-0232. And if you enjoyed today's classes and want to keep joining us, click the link in the chat to receive a free Zoom invitation and reminder about our next session. And about this Mindful Monday, this class is open to everyone interested in fostering a safe, supportive space that promotes personal growth and raises awareness about spiritual and mental health. Our intention is to help expand consciousness and encourage reflection, connection, and healing. Please note that we are not licensed therapists, doctors, or legal professionals. We offer insights based on personal experiences, and this is a sacred space. We ask all participants to treat it with respect and care, and let's honor each other's privacy by keeping our shared stories confidential and speaking to one another with kindness. And thank you all for being here, and let's begin our journey inward together with Iya Kemi.
Happy Monday, all. It is the last Monday of 2025 of September. I am looking forward to today's topic. Thank you all for those that joined in last week. It was pre-recorded, so the side view of the camera, I was out in lovely Auburn or Enumclaw, Seattle, and had a beautiful time with young adults who are doing the work in the community. So I like to welcome you. If this is your first time joining Mindful Mondays with the Good Life in the City of Oakland, as always, I start with setting our intentions. And today is World Heart Day. So today's meditation will be focused on the heart. As always, I turn my video off so that you can pay attention to the video that you are looking at on the screen. As you are looking at this video, again, it is going to be one of the anatomy of the heart beating. Just allow yourself to listen to the frequency. And if you want to place your hand on your heart or tap into your breath and sync it with your heart, you may do so. Again, if you are dealing with high blood pressure or anything of that nature, be mindful of your breaths and how this energy may feel coming through. Again, this is going to be about a 5 to 10 minute meditation. Affirmations may come in if led. But if not, again, listen to your heart, love on your heart. Allow yourself to feel the frequency and set whatever intentions that you may have in regards to how you would like to care for your heart, not just today, not just for the next 3 months of this year, but moving forward in your life. What does that look like? Tap in with your breath. For those that can hold and breathe in for 4 seconds and do the box breath, which is breathing in 4 seconds, holding 4 seconds, exhaling 4 seconds, and repeating. May your heart be open to giving and receiving love unconditionally. May your heart be a sanctuary of healing and renewal. May you love and accept yourself fully, including all your gifts and imperfections. You are a magnet for loving and harmonious relationships. Choose compassion and understanding over judgment. May your heart be a wellspring of compassion and empathy for all beings. May you know that it is safe for you to be open, to love, and to be loved. May you trust the wisdom of your heart to guide your journey. Love flows effortlessly and unconditionally through you. Your heart is pure, filled with peace, harmony, and balance. Letting go of all emotional wounds and allowing for deep healing. Love is a natural state of being. May your relationships be a reflection of your open heart. Let go of all past hurts and resentments. Love empowers my voice and expression. My words and actions are rooted in love. Take a couple of deep breaths in And on your exhale, allow it to be audible, whether that's a sigh, a scream, a ha, whatever that may be. Make sure that you do that 3 times before bringing yourself back into this space. After you have done that, wrap your arms around your body, or you can place one on your chest and one on your stomach. When you have done so, tell your body and yourself that you love you. I love you. You can say I love you to your organs, your heart, the heart that is pumping the blood through all the veins and vessels with the assistance of the oxygen. Loving up on yourself in every bit, piece, and aspect of your physical body. Loving your mind, your spirit. Loving even the aspects of feeling. And take one last big inhale to bring you back into this loving space and environment. Welcome, welcome, welcome all. Looking forward to today's topic. I'm not going to really go into the cardiovascular way as if I'm a doctor, but I am going to go into the mindful way. And looking at the heart, many of us may not know that the heart is actually a vortex. And so I will share a video about that shortly, but I kind of want to share a little bit about World Heart Day. It is started by the World Heart Federation, and it is something where they don't want us to miss the beat. Each year, cardiovascular disease claims over 20.5 million lives. Up to 80% of premature cardiovascular diseases are preventable, not only through affordable access care, but also screening and making healthy choices within your body, staying active, as well as what does it mean spiritually? What does that mean? Because there are layers to who we are. And so a lot of us think it's just to be pumping the blood, but the heart is viewed as a symbol of love, compassion, and spiritual connection. Across cultures and religion, the heart has been revered as a powerful center of emotion and spirituality. In the Kemetic principle, you have the laws of Ma'at, where they talk about the heart being light as a feather. And so that symbolicness of a feather being real light, in what ways can we do that? Again, the heart is a recognizable shape, which is, it kind of resembles two halves coming together. And it has been used to represent love, affection, and deep human connection for centuries. And so I want to go into what this heart really truly is and what it looks like so we understand that it is a vortex. And what does that mean? This video here will describe what this is and what it means. And again, I don't own the rights to this video, but it is one that I found to be very, very helpful to support what it is that I'm saying. Some of us may not know what a vortex is. A vortex is this spiralness that can spiral out and spiral energy out. And so in this share, here is more to be
The heart is in the shape of a chestahedron, a seven-sided shape where all of the surface areas are the same. When placing a chestahedron in a box, it sits on an angle of 36 degrees off center. This is the same angle which the heart sits in the chest, hence why it's called a chestahedron. Placing a chestahedron in water creates a vortex in the water, and your heart tissues is in a vortex spiral. Your heart is actually one muscle but wrapped in a spiraling vortex form. This is because your heart is a vortex energy generator. Blood enters the heart and creates a vortex spiral inside of the heart. Your heart turns water in the blood into plasma, the fourth state of water, which they'll never tell you about. Plasma makes up approximately 55% of your blood. The earth is electromagnetic. The reason why heart rearranged is earth is because the heart takes the electromagnetic energy of the earth and turns this into plasma in the blood to run the physical body. Your heart is directly connected to the universe, to the electromagnetic energy of the earth. This is why we always see Jesus pointing at his heart. Your heart is inside of the chest. This is where the treasure is, inside of the heart. Your heart contains 40,000 neurons, which is the exact same cells in your brain. The heart is the emotional brain which gives you guidance. It tells you what is right and what is wrong. This is why we say follow your heart.
Well, I just wanted to give that brief little introduction about that. Of course, you can go into more detail if you desire to do so. It did bring up a religious context of Jesus. And again, this is not, I'm not a scientist. I'm not here to go into the Bible in that aspect, but I did want to introduce again what the heart looks like, because we always think it looks like this, but it actually is a vortex. It is a spiral. So when you think of something that is spiraling, in what ways spiritual, are you really connected to your heart and your mind? Because again, those two things, your heart holds more memory than your mind. And so there's different things that we can do. I am definitely open to hearing who would like to share anything that they may have learned about the heart in regards, and even those that may be dealing with cardiovascular disease. I know that my father had congestive heart failure at one point, and as I continued to have conversations with him, I found that he was really heartbroken. And we use that term loosely, but in reality, those things can happen when we give more energy to those things that break our heart versus seeing them as an experience. I really am grateful that he was able to do the work to get off of his high blood pressure medicine and things of that nature as he began to speak about what really was on his heart. For me, that symbolic of the heart being as light as a feather is how much weight do you have on your heart from past hurts, past experiences, disappointments, because you've had expectations. A lot of the times we feel that we should have expectations of others. And my thought about expectations is that when you have expectations of others, you are allowing yourself to be disappointed at some point, because that person may not have the capacity or the ability to play out or operate or do the things that we expect them to do. So I'm very, very mindful in understanding what those expectations can do. They can lead to disappointment, they can lead to heartbreaks. And so the forgiveness piece that we always talk about is very key when it comes to our heart, when it comes to how we hold things in our divine body, our frequency. Because just as the video said, we are electromagnetic beings. The earth, gives us that energy. Um, Grounding, taking walks can definitely help realign your heart. How many times have you even said the same story over and over again about particular things? You constantly replay this story of some disappointment or something that has happened. That too can weigh on your heart. So we have to change our narratives at times. The other thing is slow motion. Sometimes your walk doesn't have to be brisk. Sometimes it could be jumping jacks. Sometimes you can get a rebound. You can also get a rebound trampoline. Some call it trampoline. Some the new word is a rebound. those actions and those things are, again, what can assist you in staying fluid and allowing the blood to flow. Now, I do want to share some foods. I do want to share some herbs. I do want to share us having even more of a conversation about how the heart gets weighed down. If you know people who have had heart attacks, did you know what they may have been going through if you've had a heart attack or congestive failure? Emily, my friend, just had a massive heart attack just this past August of 2025, and he was so bitter and unforgiving. He is now asking, why did this happen to him? Right on time for me, as I'm a part of his team recovery at home now. Beautiful, beautiful, Emily. You know, it's really, as you said, that I got chills in my body, because that is one thing that having conversation with my father, again, he always wanted me to speak about and allow his testimony and his life to be a testimony. And so anything that I'm sharing, this is definitely some transparency for myself, as well as to liberate his spirit for the things that he did not speak of when he was here. And so as he went through his life, he really found out that he was a little bit bitter. He was a little upset at some things, and in some aspects unforgiving. And during his last 18 months, he actually made calls and asked for forgiveness for those people that he hurt because he was hurt. How many of you know the statement, hurt people hurt people? You know, it is a true statement that if we don't know any better, if we don't heal, we can go out and do damage to other people, or we become disassociated and we stay to ourselves and we don't have social lives. And so we have to see that each encounter, each thing that we may go through or grow through, because hopefully you're growing through these things, are opportunities for us to just experience life. If everyone was the same, if we didn't have any ebb in the flow, then we will be bored in life. And so, speaking your truth, whether it's journaling, having a conversation, seeking therapy, are different ways that you can actually let the load off in your heart, in your chest area. You know, if you're really in tune with your body when you're around certain energy, you can feel the body tense up. And so this is the reason why it's very good to be in tune with your breath. It's very good to be in tune even with your body and how it feels. And so in this share, let me pull this up so that we could see different foods, different herbs, nutrition for the heart, because some people say food these days isn't really food. We don't know what we're eating with these new laws and things that are being passed. So I definitely want us to be mindful of what we are taking into our system. And so let me share this screen so we can go into the herbs that you can have and take. Oregano is one of the good herbs that you can add to your meals, your diets. If you're not one that wants to add it to the food that you cook, they do sell oregano oil. Again, this oregano oil can be added into your water. Oregano also fights inflammation in the body, as well as anti-cancer, as well as for the heart, and it gives also the vitamin C and antioxidants. Garlic is another thing. I was in the presence of a beautiful elder out of the Bay Area who actually was walking around with a clove of garlic and eating garlic with a clove of garlic with every meal, with their lunch and their dinner, not with the breakfast, but definitely with their dinner. So you can definitely add cloves because it definitely helps improving your blood circulation. Another herb is called the butcher's broom. I will pull up a picture if you don't know what the butcher's broom is, but it is an herb that is also good for the heart. And then you have bilberry. Bilberry is an herb that you can take. Ginkgo biloba. I always struggle with that word for whatever reason, but that is also an herb that you can take. Now, again, I am not a physician. I definitely encourage you to speak to your doctor if you are on any type of heart medication to make sure that any of this does not interfere with what you are currently on, any medication. Cayenne pepper. This is another thing that I saw the elder have for every meal. She sprinkled cayenne pepper on all of her food. Again, this also helps with the blood circulation, and it does include vitamin A, C, calcium, selenium, zinc, magnesium, that is also added in this statement here in regards to the herb cayenne. Ginseng is another one. You can do ginseng. Cacao. Cacao is like a chocolate. It is the pure chocolate that is very rich, not milk chocolate, not white chocolate. Dark chocolate may align with this one as well. Definitely something that's really good. Cacao smoothie. Some people add cacao with banana and peanut butter to make or almond butter preferably to make a smoothie. So you can kind of get fancy with the cacao. And then you have hawthorn. Hawthorn is another herb that is good for the blood and the heart and strengthening the heart. Motherwort. Motherwort can also be used as an herb to take. Grapes. I don't know why grapes fall in the herb category, but it is in the herb category. So grapes, if you could find seeded grapes, there are still places out there, farmers markets, that you may be able to find grapes at. Then you have green tea, not matcha, but green tea. There is this thing going around about too much matcha, especially with your meals, is not good, but this is specifically speaking to green tea. Then you have chokeberry. Chokeberries is a good herb that you can also add. And then you have dong quai, which is an herb from China, sometimes called angelica root. That is also one that you can have as a tea or get droplets. And then sacred pine from the pine trees. Many of us walk by them, but they are one of the oldest bearing trees on the planet. I had the beauty of going to Mount Rainier or Mount Tahoma, which is the native name for that mountain, and it was filled with pine trees and Everest trees, and it was so abundant. And actually taking from the tree with its permission, you can actually taste the pine and the freshness of the pine. And so, yes, it is something that's very, very, I've never heard of cayenne pepper in coffee. Thank you for sharing that, Latanya. I have definitely put it in my tea where I've done cayenne pepper, turmeric, and I'll do a little black pepper. That is something that I do, but this coffee thing. Okay, when I get in the mood for coffee, I might have to try that out and see what that's about. Thank you for sharing that, Ijanla. Yes, the expectations that others have of us does impact and can impact the heart as well. So I love that. Ooh, you use the black pepper too, Ijanla? Yes. Black pepper, all of that is so, so good when it comes to that turmeric tea. A little lemon is a good way to start the day. And so I want to kind of go over 12 foods that was shared by the AARP, the superfoods for heart health. Beetroot, beets are definitely one. Some people don't like beets, so you can always get the beetroot powder, and you can add that to a smoothie or something of that nature because that does help. You can add them with carrots when it comes to beets, sweet potatoes, squash. Some people add it with oranges, cantaloupe, or papaya. I love roasted beets. I had a large portion of beets this past weekend. And then some people, if you haven't had beets, just a pre-warning, when you go to the restroom, it may look a little red because beets do process through your system really fast. Well, for myself and others that I have had conversation with. Pumpkin seeds and walnuts also assist in lowering the risk of cardiovascular disease. So that is something that you can, and a handful is recommended with one of our past guests with the Ayurvedic. They don't eat a lot of nuts because, again, it takes a lot of energy to process the nuts. So a good handful of nuts would be good. Oh, Baturia. Maybe you can share a little bit more about that Baturia, yeah, Anjana. For those that might like tofu, tofu is something that they have placed as being one of a good source to assist in the cholesterol levels and protein levels for those that may not eat meat. Stay away from seeded oils. Olive oil is better in regards to, or avocado oil. Definitely stay away from, I don't do canola oil too much, but for those that may, yes, parasites, pumpkin seeds, yes, pumpkin seeds do help with parasites. Thank you for sharing that, Miss Latanya. Garbanzo beans, those beans can actually also assist. Again, canned beans could be high in salt, so if you do choose to go the canned route, please make sure that you rinse them thoroughly or use the dry beans. Some people call garbanzo beans. I think they may also be called chickpeas, if I'm not mistaken. Beet urea is the red color that urine and stool can turn due to the abundant consumption of beets. Thank you for clarifying that in the chat. Ijanla Yeye Mokun, very, very grateful for your support. For those that may like avocados or don't like avocados, again, avocados once a day can definitely help with the cholesterol levels, and the high fat content can help with the heart being healthy. I prefer my avocado like on toast or in a guacamole. For me to just have avocado, that is a challenge, but also my blood type, because I do eat for my blood type, which is a whole nother conversation. Oatmeal is also one that has been recommended as a food, but I believe it is more steel cut oats because it is less processed. So you're actually getting the good healthy fiber out of the oatmeal. Some people are not recommended to eat a lot of oatmeal. I know oat milk is something that's really big right now, but too much oatmeal, from what I've been reading and studying, it can affect your intestinal wall. So just be mindful in the consumption of oat milk. And if you do oatmeal, steel cut oats, again, are the most recommended oatmeal that is out there. Whole grain rices and quinoa, whole grain bran. Again, some people may be gluten free. These are just suggestions from AARP. And so I definitely, again, definitely look into it. The blood type. Yes, that eat for your blood type has worked wonders for some people. And some of the things that I love, yes, it is a blood type O diet. John, I am a blood type O. The mosquitoes love me, but when I eat a lot of garlic, I'm noticing that they leave me alone. So I'm learning the things that assist in when it comes to my blood type. Another food that is recommended is salmon. Some also say trout, herring, albacore tuna, sardines, and mackerel. With the salmon, again, you definitely want to be mindful of farm-raised salmon versus wild caught. There is a thing going out there. Some people are not doing Costco salmon because they have found little lovely friends in the salmon. And lastly, we have the blueberries. All berries are really good. Blackberries, raspberries, blueberries. They give what you need. And then red grapes, as I said earlier, broccoli and Brussels sprouts. I love me some good Brussels sprouts. You can also add spinach, kale, and baby greens, Swiss chard, and collard greens. These dark leafy greens can also help in your blood pressure as well as your heart health. Chili peppers is the last one that they have given. These little hot guys, as it says, it gives a substance that does something anti-inflammatory, it's antioxidant, and it can regulate the blood glucose. So again, chili peppers, normally the spicy foods, i.e. the cayenne, they actually also help in the flow of your blood.
Hi.
Okay. And let's see if we have someone that wanted to share. Laura, I'm not too sure if you wanted to share. I noticed that you were unmuted. Okay, that may have been an accident. And so I'm going to share we've gone over the food, we've gone over the herbs, and we've had a class where we talked about the crystals, those that love rubies, diamonds, and jewels. These are some of the actual crystals that can assist you as well with your heart health. And in that, again, gemstones definitely give you some support. You know, some people do feel the difference. And so you have these quick overview of the 13 best stones: rose quartz, rhodochrosite, malachite, rhodonite, green aventurine, peridot, green jade, pernite, amazonite, moss agate, emerald, moldavite, and chrysoprase. And let me see if they have any of these images so you can see what they look like. And so you have rose quartz. Again, it's pink. It's for the heart chakra. Rose quartz is one of the most common crystals that is used to promote an open heart and to promote love, compassion, empathy. So if you are dealing with bitterness or anger, these stones that I'm introducing are the stones that we could be able to utilize to assist you in your heart health. Give me 1 second. And the next one is rhodochrosite. This one is also pink. It may have a little brown to it. It also can stimulate love and passion to help energize the soul. It can also do cleansing. Then you have malachite. It looks green and it has these ridges in it. A very beautiful stone that I was very close with for some amount of time when I was dealing with healing my heart from a relationship. Again, they absorb negative energies. You can hold into it with the intention and allow that stone to take the energy away from your body, because again, we're electromagnetic beings. It also stimulates clearer thinking with this malachite. And so it can help control emotions as well. If you are one that is codependent or jealous, it helps also in learning to love yourself. It helps you to be vocal about your feelings, as well as overcome the fear of intimacy if you have not gotten back into a relationship since your last breakup, for example. Again, this is, for me, it was the best choice, as it says here, because it helped both my physical heart and my emotional heart. Believe it or not, I had high cholesterol at one point at my young, tender age. So I'm very familiar with that stone and how it has assisted me both on the physical and emotional aspect. Rhodonite is black and pink, although it says it's for the root chakra, which we've discussed the chakras, as it's also for the heart. It does help heal emotional wounds from the past. So it can be also an emotional balancer if you are dealing with emotional self-destruction, codependency, and jealousy. This can help in those areas, as well as with forgiveness. Green aventurine, it is a green stone, which you see here. This also does the same thing. It can bring emotional calm. It can promote compassion and empathy. These crystals don't have to necessarily be on the body. They can be placed in the room that majority of people are in. They can be placed by your nightstand. They can be placed under your pillow. Again, wherever you are led. I definitely recommend people to go into a crystal shop because you want to touch, you want to be led to whichever crystal is for you. This is the peridot. It is green in color as well. It is, looks like it has some tones of yellow in it. Again, it helps with jealousy, resentment, bitterness, and irritation. It can also reduce stress and anger and guilt if you are dealing with anger and guilt. And it also can enhance self-confidence, growth, and change. Some people use it when they're exhausted and tired to assist with that as well. Then you have the green jade. This is what the green jade look like. If you look at most of these stones, the color green is the color that is for the heart chakra. So it's not by happenstance that these green crystals and beautiful stones help. This green jade also encourages nurturing and wisdom while you're protecting it, looking for protection, and it also promotes self-sufficiency. So you can wear that again to release negative emotions, such as anger and irritability. Okay. Paranite. This is what paranite, another green stone. It also can help to heal the solar plexus. It can bring the peace and protection and serenity. It is, again, letting go of, if you have a hard time letting go of material possessions, like you feel like somebody took something from you or they owe you something. If you are one that is a hoarder or you have a lot of clutter, this can also help you with decluttering your space. The Amazonite, again, another green stone. This one also can help with the throat chakra. If you are one that cannot speak your truth or come from the heart, if you deal with a lot of worry or anxiousness or feeling lonely, this is a stone that can help alleviate some of that worry and fear. Then you have the Mossagate, green and white. Again, it's a lot of nature lovers love this stone. It is one, again, that can cleanse, heal, and balance the heart. And it can also help with attracting abundance and wealth. It does help with self-esteem, self-worth, and strength as well. And then you have the emerald. Some of you, I believe your birthstone may be emerald. This is considered to be one of the best crystals for it, bringing in loyalty, encouraging unconditional love, and promoting friendship. Again, if you are dealing with unfaithfulness, this emerald can change colors to signal this unfaithfulness. And so that doesn't mean go out and get this emerald crystal to see if somebody's being unfaithful with you, okay? This is not that. Thank you, Latanya. I am fully rested and I have been doing my self-care, so thank you for seeing me. Your favorite color, so you have all of these as bracelets. I'm not too sure how to pronounce your name, Miss Ox, but all of these colors can go on one bracelet. You have the Crystal Praise. I have not seen this one in person, but it looks beautiful with its iridescent looking green. This can, again, balance the yin and yang, also help to heal past traumas and release negative emotions. Again, if you have a broken heart or dealing with infidelity, this can encourage fidelity. Most of the times when you have this feeling of infidelity, the question is, did you cheat on yourself first? Because no one can cheat on you unless you cheated on yourself. That's the way I look at it. Sometimes we have the signs and symbols, but yet we don't pay attention to it and we feel like we are being cheated on. And so we have to look at some of those things. And this crystal itself is also one that can help with spiritual protection and also help with deep meditative states. So if you have trouble sleeping, this is something that you can, or you like to meditate and go into deep meditations, this is a crystal that you can utilize. The Moldavite is a dark green. It can also almost look black. This one is part of the mineral kingdom that helps emotional traumas, opens your heart to love, and helps you accept emotions. Again, in what I've been taught by my elders, emotions is just energy you put in motion based off of how you feel. A feeling is, where do you feel it in your body? That is something that I learned over this retreat from the Buddhist perspective with one of the stewards that were with me on the retreat. And so a lot of that is being in tune with your body. Oftentimes we have shut and become so numb to things. Your heart could be doing little flutters, but if you aren't in tune and you're holding on to the past hurt, so you're in the moment focusing on something that may have happened in the past or in the future, then you are not present. A lot of the times they say anxiety comes from either being too far in the past or being too far in the future. And how can you be present in experiencing life as it is? Again, loving on yourself. And what ways does that show up? The walks, the drinking your teas. Rose tea is a good tea. I forgot to mention that. Rose tea is also a good herb that you can utilize. You can also do the rose oil and use rose oil on your body, or if it's just where you have a valve and you inhale it, aromatherapy is a thing. So you can use rose oil to open up your heart as well. The other thing that I would say, you can also add rose petals and roses to your bath. If you're one that soaks in the bath, you can definitely add that fragrance and the actual petals to your bath. The self-care for me is one of the biggest things that I realize is kind of connected to the heart, not just with our foods, not just wearing crystals, But it is that, again, having the space to trust yourself to be around particular energies and people that will reciprocate that love. And sometimes we have the ability to give love without the expectation. For me, I love all things, whether it's two-legged, four-legged, the winged ones, or the swimming ones. I tend to be very caring about nature these days. I used to be one that was scared of bees, run from bees, spiders, and crickets and all the things, but now I'm one that actually allows the crickets to be caught in a glass or something and release them. Spiders, that depends. If it's a black widow, I don't know, but I lovingly, I love nature in all aspects. But one thing that I will offer into the space is asking yourself, when's the last time you bought yourself flowers? When's the last time you took yourself on a date? When's the last time that you've done something that will lighten your heart? Maybe look at an animation or look at a comedy movie, especially if you're one that's always looking at crime and, you know, horror and things of that nature. Another share with my father, he was always looking at CSI or Law and Order or all of these things of judgment. And as we continue to do work, and he realized how much of that was taking up his space mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically, as he changed what he looked at on TV, his heart actually lightened up. So I definitely encourage you to possibly look at different type of shows on television or different type of movies, because that too does have an effect on your well-being, whether you realize it or not. I love that, Ijanla. Treating yourself to India Ari's virtual sound bath concert this Sunday. I am going to have to look for that and see what that looks like. I also want to say happy ninth year to my god sister that we were in Africa yesterday, made 9 years. So I do want to publicly say that because I don't share too much about my journey. But 9 years ago, I was fortunate enough to take a journey with 14 women, and time flies. And I every time I think about it, it's like, wow, 9 years. I'm still a baby, though. I'm still learning. Titles and things of that nature are just a part of me, but they are not me. I am not made by those titles. Yes, happy Ikuo Dun, yes. And then Yemoja is coming up this Friday, where it'll be 9 years that I have been walking with the crown of Yemoja, which is the mother of the fishes, one who nurtures. So I'm very big on learning how to nurture myself, because that was one of my biggest lessons. I was always nurturing other people and expecting them to nurture me in return the same way. And the reality is that everybody has a different capacity, a different way that they love, as we have talked about the 5 love languages. And so I definitely implore you to think about, where is your heart health? How do you feel emotionally wise and physical wise? Um, Definitely open to share. We have about 9 more minutes, so I don't know if anyone would like to share what they feel about this topic. Where is your heart health? Are you currently taking any blood pressure medications? Um, I am fortunate enough to say that, the more youthful you are, and speaking of youth, Latanya Share went to the Youth Health Healing Clinic this week. They made candles, body scrub, massage, sound baths, and even made a flower arrangement. The one I like was the stones and to clean them. Oh, thank you for sharing that. Thank you so much for sharing that. A lot of the times it is the little things. Where is this youth healing clinic by any chance? It may be some that have joined us that are in your area that would be interested.
It's called Youth Body Spirits. It's here in East Oakland, and they have their own little community. So when you go into the community, they got little houses, and the youth paint their houses. So they artists. And so when you go into it's beautiful. They got their own gardens. They grow their vegetables, their fruits, and it was beautiful. Everybody got along. We had the sound bath. We even had the plants talking to you, because they had some device that you clip onto the plant. And if there was negative energy that came into this little greenhouse, the plant would make different noises. So
Oh, wow.
it
And
was really,
And the name of it again is?
Go ahead.
The name of the place again? I'm sorry, I'm typing it in because I'm making plans to come to the Bay.
It's called Body Youth Spirit.
Youth Spirit.
It's on 633 Hagenberger Road.
Youth Spirit Artworks?
Yes, that's it.
Thank you so much for sharing. I surprised y'all. I just kind of ruined the surprise, but I am planning to create an event and come up to the Bay within the next couple of months. One of my godbrothers and I have been having the conversation, and we were fortunate enough to meet someone by the name of Mama Ayana Davis. Some of you may know her, some of you may not know her, but she's been very prominent in the Bay Area, and she is the founder of Black August, for those of you who are familiar with Black August. So I am definitely looking forward to coming out and doing something with the Good Life. So that is a thing that is in the works. So definitely hold space for that to be something. And I am so grateful that you shared this space, Latanya Brown, because I will share it with my other network of people who are out in the Bay Area. Yes, this topic from.
And another thing, let me say another thing. This is where the kids from age 18, I believe, to 25, they live here. They've been unhoused, and they're given resources and things of that nature. And it's a trip to realize that it's in East Oakland, but when you get outside of this place, there's a lot of mess out there. But this right here, check it out. It'll be a good collaboration for you because you got the energy, you got the spirit, and we can use you here in the Bay Area.
Thank you so much. Yes, I am looking forward. So, Miss Phyllis, the name of the place is called the Youth Spirit. I just pulled it up. Artworks. It is on 1740 Alcatraz Avenue, and it's coming up as Berkeley.
Yeah, that's the quarters, the main headquarters, but the
Yes.
living quarters is in East Oakland, 633 Hagenberger Road.
Okay. And so I will put their website in the chat as well so that anyone who is interested in maybe going and hanging out with the youth and
they got volunteer opportunities too.
I was going to say, and do some volunteers. It sounds like that's something that you can do in that area. So that is youthspiritartworks.org for those that are not on the Zoom Live and that will catch the recording. Thank you so much for sharing that, Latanya. I'm really grateful for that share.
You're welcome.
You know, more of these shares allow us to connect with communities and do the work that we're out here doing. So I am really, really, really grateful for that share. And hopefully those that may be dealing with family members or friends that may be holding on to some type of bitterness or anger, disappointment, frustration, or whatever is a low vibration that may be weighing heavy on their heart. You know, it could be a simple thing of you gifting them one of the crystals that were shared, or even creating a herb package, or, you know, something of that nature, and sharing this information. There's so many people out in the world right now with heavy hearts, not only because of their own personal experiences, but we have individuals who are very sensitive and may be sensitive to the energy that is happening in the world collectively. There's so much going on in different places. And one of the things that was my biggest takeaway during my journey in the mountains, we all came and were in a circle. In this circle, we were all giving gratitude to the earth for it sustaining us, for that mountain always providing the spring water that comes from the top of the mountain, because the snow always stays on the top of those mountains in the Washington area. And as we were in that space, and some of us were singing, some were chanting, some were praying, we came across different couples, different people that did not want to come in to take a picture, and those that did come in to take a picture. And in the last moments before we took off for our hike, it was a couple that stared and admired. In staring, I was led to ask them where they were from. We had youth activists that were wearing shirts about Philippines for Palestine. You know, one person was from Palestine. And in that moment, in me asking the couple, they were actually from Israel. And it created a tension in those that were for Palestine. Again, I'm not promoting any of this war. I'm against it. But I want to share this because in that moment, the people who were upset of what's going on with the people acknowledge the fact that just because they may be from a particular place doesn't mean that they are in agreement with what the particular whole masses is being portrayed as doing. So my advice to them at that time was for me to have them focus on encouraging and uplifting those that are for the healing, for the love, for the collective desire for this to cease. And the more we give the support and the love and the frequency of energy to those people, they get the strength and the power and the ability to speak the truth. So, as much as I want to say, don't focus on the negative things, that wouldn't be realistic. But we have to be mindful on how much we give to all of this negative energy that is taking place right now. If you can lend your heart in a way that is open to pray for the people that are against this, or people that may be suffering or not eating, because it's happening across the globe, in Congo, in Sudan, in so many places, not just in one place that is predominantly being highlighted right now. So if it's even you going out into the community and going to youth spirit artworks, or going to a convalescent home, or going to a school, in what ways you can volunteer right now, what ways you can plant seeds during this fall season, are all ways to give back, not only to the earth, but also to yourself, not only to other people, but also to yourself, because this is a reciprocal energy. Remember, your heart is a vortex. So what is it that you are bringing in, and what needs to be let go during this time? Again, I thank you all for joining us. Please, again, tend to your hearts, tend to yourself, love on yourself in order for you to be able to love on others. Because if you are depleted, there's no way that you can fill another person's cup from an empty cup. So again, I am so glad you are energized and started your day. Started off slow. And again, we started off a little slow, but hopefully you have the energy to, again, go out and be great and live the good life. Thank you all for joining Mindful Mondays with Iya Kemi, and I look forward to seeing you all next week. Hopefully you have registered for the next 3 months, because we are starting a new session. Quarter 4 begins October. So I will see you all next Monday. Take care. Have a great week.